Hello everyone, welcome back to the Startup BP series. I'm CBK Esquire, your guide through the exciting world of startups. If you're old here, welcome back, and if you're new, please don't forget to click the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on our lessons. Before we get started, I would like to say, as usual, that this is an educational content. So if you need legal support with your business, it's always important to seek the services of a qualified legal professional. Now that I've stated that, let's get started. In this episode, we're going to talk about how we can build a startup in 90 days. So, we're going to cover the various steps involved in building a startup from the idea stage to the phase of launching your product. So, stay tuned. So, for phase one is the stage where you validate your idea. You've already figured out what you want to do, what solution your tech product will be providing to the particular industry that you have decided to start a business in. So after you have gained clarity on your idea, what you're supposed to do next is actually do deep market research to look at the industry, see how check if that solution is already being provided, and if it is being provided, how is it being provided? What are the gaps? What are the gaps that are still existing in that area, in that industry, or in that particular line of business that you want to introduce your tech product? After then, after you do your market research, you can also consult people that are close to you, like your friends or your family. Talk to them about the product. Get to understand how they see it because they're also going to be part of your customer base. That way, you will understand better how to structure your product, structure your business in a way that profits you in the long run. Then afterwards, you also have to do more research on other tech products even outside your industry because like we said in our previous episodes, the fundamental trait or feature of a startup is being innovative, and if you want to be innovative you have to think outside the box. So you have to see how other tech products are working in other industries as well. You have to basically, this is the phase where you do a lot of research to develop your product or service. Phase two, after you have figured out, after you have validated your idea, you've done your market research, you've done research on that particular industry, you have to go ahead and build a business plan. So a business plan is basically the Bible of your business. It contains your structure, what your product will be about, what your service will be about, how much capital it's going to require, how much staff you would need, how much time you would need to build your product. It's very important that you have a business plan, not just for yourself, but also for investors in the event that you would like to have an investor coming to assist with funding for your business. If you're a solo founder, it's still important that you have a business plan. A business plan is always important. Second of all, if you're building with a co-founder or you already have an investor that wants to build this product with you or this business with you, then it's important that you have various governance documentation such as your founders agreements, your capitalization tables, your shareholders agreements. This ensures that the roles and responsibilities of founders involved, or the people involved in building the business are outlined. Um, it ensures that every it ensures that the relationship between the founders and investors are streamlined and controlled to avoid conflict in the future. Also, these governance documents also help with providing information at the incorporation stage. That is when you are registering your business. So once you have figured out your business plan, your founders agreements, your investors agreements when necessary, then you can proceed to phase three. Phase three is the incorporation stage. Here, you register your business. This is where you register your entity. You register your business. You register your company with CAC, and it's very important that you do this before you go ahead to launch your product or launch your service. Otherwise, your services, your products, your business will be illegitimate, especially in Nigeria. So you have to go ahead and register your business. Once you have that, you will have your memorandum of association, your articles of association, your certificate of incorporation. Then you have to also go ahead and trademark your business name, your company name. You also have to trademark the name of your product as well, so that it creates exclusivity for you and your business. It ensures that nobody else uses the name or the name of your business or the name of your app to trade anywhere else. It's exclusively for you and you have legal rights to them. So after you have done that, you now have to go ahead and apply for the various industrial permits that are required for your business to take off. So first and foremost, if you're building a tech startup, it's very important that you ensure that you are registered with the National Information and Technology Development. This is the agency that enforces compliance with the Nigerian Data Protection Agency. Basically, because you're building a tech startup, so your business involves handling a lot of data. So you have to ensure that you are duly licensed with the Nigeria Data Protection Agency under the NITDA. Then you also have to get your tax identification number as well. Then afterwards, after you've basically gotten your general provisions in lock, then you can proceed to applying for the industry specific permits or licenses. So, for example, for an online bank, it's important that you seek licenses from SEC, CBN. If your tech startup has to do with oil and gas, you have to get your NEPRC, your NIMASA, when necessary, according to the service that you are providing at the time. Let's go over all the phases first before we can proceed to the final phase. So by now you would have validated your business idea, you would have prepared your business plan, prepared your founders agreement, your investors agreement, your shareholders agreement when necessary if you're building with other people. Then after that, you will have gone on to register your business with the CAC. You have registered the trademark for your business and your app or your product. Then you would have started applying for your licenses with the particular industries and also the general licenses as well. Now that you have done all this, your business is ready to go. But before you start operations, it's also important that you have certain policies in place. You've set a certain legal framework in place for your business in order for you, your co-founders, and also your employees, your vendors to follow in order to ensure that your business operations are seamless, they are compliant, and that you get the best out of what you're trying to achieve. There are various areas in your business where you require certain policies. In handling your data, you have to have your internal data policies. You actually have to have this before you register with the Nigerian Data Protection Agency. You have to have policies for your data, for how you're handling your data, for whistleblowing, for conduct of your employees. You also have to ensure that your board is set up, that is your governance board, your directors, your CEOs, your shareholders. You have to actually have all these things in place. And then you also have to ensure that when you're employing your staff, you have good employment contracts. If you have staff, you also have to ensure that you have a HMO in place for them. you have to ensure that you're registered with income as well. There are several things that come into play when you're trying to set up your business in a way that is conducive for both you and your employees. And also, if you're dealing with vendors in a large capacity, it's also important for you to have your vendors or your suppliers contracts in place as well. And then obviously if you're outsourcing your developers, you also have to have your agreements with them in place, and you have to ensure that when you're having your agreements with your developers, your agreements have to state that the developer is giving you full legal rights to that app so that you avoid the events that or a situation where they've helped you build your app and then you started using it, you have subscribers, you're gaining money from it, you're gaining traction from it, and then the developer comes and starts claiming rights to your business or to your app. So you have to ensure that you have the full legal rights to the code for your app. At this point, you should have already started preparing your product to launch. At least you should have started getting to the beta stage where you are testing with users to see how they're using it. At least at this point, you should be able to have your MVP in place or still be working on it because right now your business is fully ready to go. So now you have to just work on your MVP, probably launch it, see how your users react to it, remodify it, and then when you do your full launch for subscribers to fully subscribe, you have to ensure that your app also has essential legal frameworks to ensure that your liability as the producer of the app or the provider of that service is protected. Also, your users and your subscribers are also protected, and your app also has to be compliant. So when you're building your app, you have to ensure that legal frameworks such as your data policy, your terms of use to help your users or your subscribers understand how your app works, the capacity of your app, what it will do and what it will not do, um, state the use of cookies and so on as are fully embedded in your app to ensure that it is completely compliant with your data protection policies. So at this point, you can launch your product and your business is ready to commence, to start. So because you already have your policies, your internal policies in place, your founders agreement in place, your cap tables, your investors agreement, you have incorporated your business, you have registered the trademark, you're already enjoying exclusivity of your brand. So it's okay for you to advertise without worrying about any other person using the name or worrying if the name already exists somewhere else. You are basically able when you have these frameworks in place, you can basically run your business in peace, knowing fully well that you're compliant. Everything is laid down for you, so you don't have any issues with your employees, you don't have issues with your contractors, you don't have issues with your founders, you don't have issues with your structures, with your structuring. But at the end of the day, from everything I've experienced, you can see that structuring is very important to ensure the success of your business, to ensure that your business works seamlessly in a way that is profitable to you, in a way that helps you scale the way you want to scale your business. All right, founders, that is your 90-day roadmap on how to build your startup business or your tech startup. In as much as I said 90 days, it is very possible for all this to take even longer than 90 days. I only said 90 days to give my presentation structure, but it's most likely going to take 90 days or even less, depending on the industry, depending on your pace, depending on the process of how you handle it. But essentially I've provided a structure. So you see the first thing and the last thing that you're supposed to do to give you that guidance that you need to, you know, start building. If you found this video helpful, if you found this episode helpful, please Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also turn on your post notifications so you don't miss out on any of our episodes. Lastly, please follow us on Instagram at the Startup BPS, where we get to share more tips on how to build your startups and also updates on our upcoming webinars and other activities. If you have more questions, if you'd like to work with us, you can reach out to us via email at info.dstartupbs@gmail.com. So until the next episode, stay focused, stay compliant, and start building. Bye.